Hello, beauties. It's me, Wangali from Two Chic Chicks. I know I've been MIA. I'm back. I put on the community page the reason I would be out. I've been gone for quite a while, and it's all due to COVID-19 pneumonia. And that's what this video today is going to be in regards to COVID-19 pneumonia. Me and how it came about. Well, I don't know how it came about, but it came. I caught it. That's how it came about. But I just want to give you my experience with COVID. I'm doing good. I'm back, like I said. I'm even back at work. So that's a good thing too. I just went back to work, and I've filmed this during video before and I've lost the footage. So now I'm having to refilm it, which is okay because I want to get the message out there. I just want to share my experience, and along the way, maybe to help someone, or maybe you felt some of these things and you didn't realize it when you were going through your COVID, if you did have COVID. But I just, it's more for informational. It's not to gain any sympathy or anything, but I would love to thank my community though. Those of you who prayed for me, who contacted me and sent well wishes and everything. Thank you so much, because without you guys, helping with praying for me and keeping me lifted in your thoughts and everything, I really appreciate it, and I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'm about to be real with you guys in this, and I'm gonna go personal with my information, because I think you need to know the pre-existing things that were going on with me before COVID, and then get into what happened with me with COVID, and pretty much where I am today with COVID. I am a diabetic type 2. I have high blood pressure, and I have high cholesterol. With saying that, those are my preconditions. Oh, and I'm menopause. I'm in menopause. That's one condition all to itself, to be honest. But yes, I am in menopause. So that's me. I'm 37 years old, and I'm a Black woman, and I'm 6 feet tall. So just to give you a little information, a little background on this part of that, I've never had anything. I've never had pneumonia. I never had the flu. Only thing I've done is I gave birth to 3 beautiful children, and I've had my gallbladder removed. And as a young kid, tonsils removed. That's the extent of me. And I wouldn't say those are illnesses or anything, but that's the extent of anything happening to me. So I've never had an illness or anything. I haven't had problems to where, so I've been blessed. All my situations started with a headache. I started on a Monday with a headache, and Tuesday I had the headache. So I was taking Tylenol. I started on Monday evening, taking Tylenol. Well, like I told you, I have high blood pressure. So actually I thought it was my blood pressure. So I was checking my blood pressure, because I have a blood pressure cuff here at the house. So I was checking my blood pressure. Well, blood pressure isn't high. Okay. Day 3, I still have the headache. And I'm like, wow. I was like, oh, maybe I don't. Nope, I still got the headache. So I was like, okay, I still have this headache. Let me see. I went to work on that 4th day, which would have been on Thursday. And my boss asked me, Wangali, you still got your headache? I said, yeah, I still got the headache, I wasn't feeling bad or anything. I just had the headache. You know how you can take that. It just took the edge off, so I could just be able to deal with the day and stuff. So it took the edge off taking the Tylenol. So she said, you sound kind of like congested. In which my husband had said, Wangali, it's probably your sinuses. I was like, oh, okay, well, I didn't feel no sinus pressure, so I was like, I just have a headache, So my boss said, Wangali, why don't you go take a COVID test? I was like, okay. So I called and got me an appointment for a COVID test, and they told me they could come see me the same day. So I let my boss know I was going to take the COVID test, which I thought, go take the COVID test. It'll be like always, well, I only took a test one other time. So I was like, okay, I'll take the test and then I'll end up, it'll be negative. I wasn't thinking anything else but a negative result. Let's go take the COVID test. They tell me 11 o'clock at night, you can look online and see your results. I was like, okay. 11 o'clock, I was like this on my phone looking for it. It was down kind of closer to the bottom. Positive. I was like, whoa. So I turned to my husband, I tell him, I said, babe, I'm positive. He said, what? I'm like, yeah, I got the same thoughts, like I don't feel bad, I just have a headache. So I called my boss, I text my boss and I text her the results. Her answer, oh no. I was like, yeah, the same thing I'm thinking, oh no. Well, Friday, it tells me, you gotta, talk with your, make an appointment to see your primary doctor. Okay. Friday, I got a sore throat from, I don't know where. Yep, I think hell had erupted in my throat. It was so painful. My own saliva hurt to for me to swallow my own saliva was hurting, honestly. And I was like, oh my gosh, my throat is killing me. So the nurse advised me to go and pick up, to send somebody to pick up, not for me to go, some Claritin and some Mucinex, plus some vitamins, vitamin C, zinc, and B12. Now, all these have in common, they're pills. Throat killing me, and you want me to do what? These are all pills, and I'm like, oh my God, trying to get it down was like, it was hard. Managed to do it. It took everything for me to do it, but I managed to do it. Okay, Tuesday roll around, I was like, my oldest daughter, Pfeiffer, she's an occupational therapist, and she works here at a hospital in Atlanta. And she was like, Mom, go to urgent care, Stop trying to deal with it, go to urgent care, because what they told you take is not helping. I said, yeah, you're right. Let me go ahead and go to urgent care. So I called in the urgent care, let them know I was diagnosed with COVID-19, but I'm not feeling well, give her all what was going on. And so they told me to come on in, they'll be waiting on me. Well, they didn't tell me to come in. They gave me to a doctor. And then a doctor called me back and told me to come on in, and they, he'll let them know I'm, to be expecting me. I was like, okay. So my husband takes me up to, my insurance, my health insurance is through Kaiser. So Kaiser has something called ACC, which I don't know what the ACC, Acute Care, some center or something. It's like a little mini ER in there, which I happy to be a part of. Keeps me from going to the ER at a hospital. So I ended up going. I get there, you gotta go through your rigmarole again while you're here and stuff. And they take me back, and they have a place where it's like you can stay over, I guess if it's not too serious, you have to be over at the hospital, you can stay overnight. So they let me know I was gonna be staying overnight, and I just told my husband I would be staying overnight, because he was sitting in the car, because you can't come in with the person. So I, at this time, they started giving me fluids. They put me, I went and took a chest x-ray. After the chest x-ray, I end up taking a chest MRI on my chest. Well, go back into the room. The doctor comes in to see me, and he then at that moment tells me I have a urinary tract infection. I'm like, oh, well, they misdiagnosed me. They must have. I don't have COVID. I have a urinary tract infection. How they can mess up them two? They sound like, they two different things. So I was like, he looked at me. He said, I didn't tell you you had COVID. You got COVID. He said, you have COVID pneumonia. You have COVID-19 pneumonia. And I looked, I'm like, so what that mean? Because, like I said, I've never been sick. So pneumonia, what do the pneumonia part mean? So he said, have you been having trouble breathing? I'm like, well, it was a little heavy, it's on my chest, but I wasn't like panting for breath or anything, but I was having, it wasn't like trouble, but it was like, it was a little bit more effort for me to breathe. He said, that's part of the pneumonia. And I was like, oh, I wouldn't have known it. And I wouldn't have, I just wouldn't have put that together, So at this point, he said, I'm gonna keep you overnight. Well, I told you he said they was keeping me overnight. So they kept me overnight. And when it came time to release me the next day, which was the next evening, came in there in the evening, going home in the evening. And they gave me, it was almost like a grocery bag of stuff. Like I came shopping from the pharmacy of the stuff I had outside of me already getting the vitamins and stuff. Oh, it's good you got those vitamins. Let me add a vitamin D to that. Okay, now I got a vitamin D. Now I got an antibiotic because I have a urinary tract infection. Now, So as I'm leaving, I end up with an inhaler. And just in case, I have an inhaler. They took me off my blood pressure medicine at that time, and they gave me blood thinners because COVID-19 patients, they want to make sure, especially the pneumonia patients, that you don't get a blood clot, because that's one thing they noticed, within COVID pneumonia, that a lot of patients will get blood clots. Okay, so I came out with that, and then I came out with 2 blood thinners. One was Perdax. I'm not gonna give you the names of the medications or that stuff. One was a pill. The other one was a shot I had to take 5 days in my stomach. Now I had to give myself that. Oh, you sick enough, buddy. You'll give yourself a whole lot. I hate needles, but I gave myself that. And I came out with a thing so I can do the exercise for my lungs, to clear my lungs, the breathing exercise. And I got that. And I could have got something else. I don't remember. I tried to bring everything. I don't remember what else I could have gotten at that point, but it was like coming out with a grocery bag from the pharmacy. Okay, go back home, trying to work through. I'm gonna tell you, I got so fatigued. I was fatigued. I never got a fever. I never lost my taste, my smell. I never threw up. I never had diarrhea, and all the other normal things people were saying, the average things people said that you would, get during that time. I had a headache, sore throat. That was the extent of it. The fatigue set in and never let up. Once the fatigue started, it was intense. It ripped me so bad. And I was like, oh my God, this is, just a blink. And I'm not exaggerating. It was like exhausting. And I was like, oh my God, I'm just so tired. I can't. So with the fatigue being so gripping, to take a shower, I was just like, oh my God, to think to take this shower was like more than I can imagine, So I ended up, it was just a lot. unless you have been there, it sounds minimal, but it's so much more. And then trying to breathe on top of that, and then I'm quarantined, and but it was a lot going on. My daughter was upset with my husband because he would not be around me. And then I had to tell him, okay, we got to do what she wanted, her wishes and stuff. We must quarantine, be away from each other. And so he would be in the living room, and I was in the bedroom. And I tried to get him to go to her house to stay, and he said he wasn't leaving me. I thought that was so sweet. He said he wouldn't leave me. He said, you can barely get to the bathroom, you want me to leave you, But I thought I could, I'll make it there. I eventually get to the bathroom. So probably a week after I came from the Kaiser's ACC, the following week, I end up in ER. My daughter was like, Mom, we're going to ER. I've been talking to some doctors and stuff, go to ER because you're not getting better, I'm gonna tell you because it's over with. I didn't tell them during the time. I was kind of struggling breathing. I was having a tough time. I was not feeling well. I was just, it was a lot going on within me. It was more the breathing, the fatigue, and just being totally exhausted, feeling exhausted. And I'll probably forget something I hate to say. I probably will, but I probably will. And I might have to come back on and say something else. But at this time, I was just, having a hard time. So we end up going to ER. My husband ends up taking my daughter, says, come to my hospital. I was like, I don't know if my insurance will let me come there, first of all. And then she said, well, okay, go to such and such. She said the reason she wanted me to come to her hospital was they'll take you as long as you get admitted in or whatever, it'll be okay. The reason she wanted me to come there was so she could be able to come and see me. Because if I go anywhere, I can't have any visitors or anything. So since she works there, she'll be able to keep an eye on me. Nah, I don't want to go there. So I ended up going to the other hospital in Midtown here in Atlanta. And I got there about 1 o'clock, maybe 12:30-ish, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. And it was about 50 of us in there. I think about maybe 35, 40 people in there. And I have to tell you, my heart went out to the elderly that sat there. If I wasn't in the situation I would have gave somebody else my time to go, an elderly person, to see them sit there and they're struggling, because we sat for some hours. And to see that, oh my God, look at these people, that tore me up. I really, you don't have an advocate. You don't have anyone here. Can't nobody be here with you. So happened, my daughter had on her uniform and everything. They let her stay in there with me just for a little bit, And after that, she had to leave. And so I spent quite a bit of time after that alone. My husband sat outside waiting for me. And not thinking I'll be admitted. I was admitted. At this point, I'm trying to take in deep breaths. It's hard, but I'm trying. Once they went, my daughter ended up leaving and stuff. I finally get back to the bag. That's when I find out I'm about to be admitted. I let my husband know I'm about to be admitted. I want to take you home. His answer was, said, I can't go home right now because I'm in the best place I need to be for now. I go in, into the room and stuff. I get there, they have oxygen waiting on me. I said, oxygen. I looked at the nurse. I said, I have to go on oxygen. She said, well, your oxygen level is down. I said, I'm breathing okay. She said, and that's because I was thinking about what people say, what you hear. man, you're going to oxygen. Either you come home with an oxygen tank or you end up on a ventilator. I'm like, oh my God, I don't want that. I'm going to be okay. The time I'm there, she says, let me see, you might not have to stay on it long. I said, thank God, I hope not. You should go. We just want to get your oxygen up. The killer part is you can't do nothing to get your oxygen up. There's nothing I can sit up and do to that don't get my oxygen levels up. Your body has to get its oxygen levels up. I was like, oh my gosh, so only had to do like that with the oxygen, and then I was okay. My oxygen levels started, coming back. They wanted me to be at least a 94 to a 96, preferably high, 96, 97 or something. I was like, okay. So after this, going to the bathroom, everything, when I say fatigue set in, I didn't realize how bad fatigue had set in. For me to go in there to take a shower there, or to go to the restroom, I went to the restroom. I go in there. After I have done the things I needed to do, I'm there sitting on the toilet for at least 15 or 20 minutes before I can make that 5 or 6 steps back to the bed. I'm sitting, literally sitting, because I don't have the strength to get up and take those steps to the bed. Oh my God. It sets in. This is real. This is so real. Like, oh my God. I get there, I'm like, whew. You're breathing like you have walked or ran a marathon. I hadn't done anything but there to there. I was released. Thank God, no oxygen to come home with. I had to stay my time, doctors talking to you. I had the best care with the doctors, the best care with doctors. The nurses were beautiful and everything. I thank them for being here, to just be here, to help people, to help me, to care for me, I was FaceTiming with my family and everything. It was really a lot to get through the hospital because you really are alone in the hospital. So my husband brings me home, tell me to take the long route home so I can enjoy the scenery. Even though I left at night, I just wanted to be able to just enjoy looking around and seeing the sky, just seeing the city for what it is at night, You have time to think too, for as much as you can think. But what I want to say is, when you're in that hospital and the doctors and the nurses are talking to you, I'm like, I'm sick. I don't have the capacity to focus on what you're saying. I don't have the capacity to even understand what you're saying. Every time a doctor or nurse came in, I would call my daughter, and she would talk for me, or she would talk back and forth with them, so she knew what was going on, to relay whatever she needed to, or to say whatever. I ended up getting that treatment, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna have to write it down in the description box, what treatment I ended up getting. I was able to, I fell within that, their requirements, and I was able to get it. So that was the beginning of, I guess, my turnaround, but I really started turning around some when I got home. And it wasn't really, I can't say a turnaround, because it still was taking its course with stuff. COVID was. When I got home, I had to literally prepare myself to go into the bathroom. I hated going to the bathroom. And I meant to clean myself, to take a shower, or to brush my teeth, wash my face. I hated it. I had to gather up the mindset, the strength, to just go to the bathroom and take a shower. For me to take a shower, that was like an hour and a half ordeal to take a shower. I would be in the shower. By the time I put the soap onto the towel and do this. I'm tired. I'm tired, man. I couldn't get it together at all. Hadn't combed my hair. My hair was tied up in a scarf for weeks. To mess with it? Come on, y'all. I couldn't touch I couldn't raise my hands up to nothing. I got an electric toothbrush. How much do it take to do this? I couldn't raise my hand to my mouth with an electric toothbrush. It's a mental thing that begins to happen with this. It was just so, I'm surprised I didn't get depressed. People say, did you get depressed? People, because people say they're getting depressed. I said, no, I didn't get depressed, but I can see where you could get depressed. I mean, you have these thoughts, you get tired, you're just like, I'm just done, oh my God, you can give up easy because you feel like you can't continue, you can't make this happen. Oh my gosh, I would get, like I was saying about the shower, get in the shower, get little. My husband had to go get a stool, put it outside the shower. I would step out, sit down. I'm soaked up. I'm sitting because I'm about to pass out in the shower. Then I go back after about 15 minutes, 20 minutes, rinse off. I was like, okay, I gotta stay funky, actually, to be more than honest. It would have been okay with it. I was like, okay. We use so much Lysol during this time. We still use Lysol. Every time I go to the bathroom, thank God we had 2 bathrooms. Go to the bathroom, spray behind myself. Go to bed, spray the whole bed down. We still doing it every day. We spray the bed down when we make the bed. It's just, you try. I'm trying to make sure. Thank God, guess what? My husband didn't get it. That's one good thing. I know I'm jumping now. I'm sorry. I am jumping. I'm sorry. But yeah, that is one blessed thing. He did not get COVID. I'll tell you that in the end. I'll hold that to the end. But yeah, he didn't get COVID. I am so grateful and blessed that it was only me. And my daughter would have been here, but we had just taken her back to school and moved her in the dorm maybe about a week before all this had happened. So, blessings do come out of all this. There are some silver linings for me. And so to say, it was just a lot. It sounds like really nothing. It was a lot to just try to get up and move around. And I lost my appetite. Now that's something I did lose. I didn't lose my taste or my smell, but I did lose my appetite to eat. I'm not hungry. I can't. My husband, you gotta eat. You gotta get your strength. That's how you're gonna get your strength. I can't eat. You gotta get your strength. I can't eat. Go give me a green smoothie. Just go give me a smoothie. Put some stuff in it, protein stuff. Bring it back. I didn't want to eat. I wasn't drinking enough, and I don't drink a lot when I'm healthy. So I wasn't keeping hydrated enough, and I was struggling trying to keep hydrated. So, I was eating yogurt, things you didn't have to do a lot. I wasn't talking. Do you know how much effort it takes? How much to talk? Oh my God. I never knew how much it took. And I'm a woman of gab. I never realized do it effortlessly. COVID had me down. I couldn't even hold a conversation. I ain't gonna even say barely. I could not hold a conversation at all. Not at all. Ask me something, I talked when I had to with my family, and it was a very short conversation. Believe me, very short. My husband said, I can't wait to hear your voice. It ain't all that spectacular, but thank you. But, so I wasn't talking a lot. I didn't care what happened. I didn't watch TV. I wasn't listening to music. I wasn't doing anything. When I say nothing, I mean nada, not nothing, anything. I lost my interest in everything at this time. I could, yeah. I just, Lord, please let me get better. That's all, Only thing I had was a prayer. Lord, please, please, please heal me from this. Then, a week after being home, end up in the ER again. Heaviness on my chest. I'm getting better though. I'm getting better. But I had heaviness. That is a side effect. The heaviness is a side effect. I was like, oh, didn't realize that. So, with saying it, they took another chest x-ray. Now we're talking now, from the time I found out I had COVID, down to, I think it was like week 5, definitely, by week 5 or 6. My the chest, or my pneumonia in my chest, still the same. Little to no change. Takes a while. So I'm trying to figure out, oh Lord, what I do. What I do to get this out. Well, you gotta keep doing them breathing exercises. That's your best bet. Do your breathing exercises. And I didn't stay overnight or anything. Stayed there for hours, to just check other things and stuff. Everything was looking better and stuff, and was sent home and stuff. So didn't have to. But I'm gonna tell you, that last ride up made me real nervous and scared, because it's like, Lord, I want to go home. I don't want to stay at the hospital. I didn't know what was going to happen at this point. But they checked everything and, told me, this is a side effect of, COVID. So, with saying all this, I want to tell you, out there, COVID is real. COVID is real. I was away from work 8 weeks, maybe 9. Which, whatever have to happen. I was covered, I had the sick time and everything to be away. But not to have my regular routine to be taken out of it was something. To be laid out was really something for me. Mentally, it took a toll on me. Mentally, COVID took a real mental toll. I didn't get depressed, but it was something I had never experienced before. So it was something totally new, totally out my heart. I couldn't control it. I couldn't, so it was taken from me. How did I get COVID? I can't tell you. I work in an elementary school. Was it there? I went to church that Sunday. Was it there? I don't know. I don't even care anymore. I just wanted it to go away. Where I'm at today with this, as they call it, long hauler syndrome? Well, I'm there, I'm doing better. I'm thankful. I have come through. I'm not out the woods. I'm not 100%. But I'm here doing a video with you guys. That's a lot. Now with COVID, it fools you. Makes you think you're okay. And then I'll be laid out a day or 2. But now, where am I at? I'm fatigued still. I am. I'm still fatigued. My first week back, which was last week, I miss Friday. I was dead by Friday. 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm no good. It's gonna get better. I just have to keep going. It's gonna get better. You gotta move with it. One thing I say, move as much as you can. It's hard. And when I'm tired, I stumble. I didn't realize it. My husband had to tell me. He said, yeah, you're tired because I'm dragging. I'm like shuffling, not walking, I'm shuffling, trying to get to where I'm going. And I'm like, oh, okay, you know. The week before I got ready to go back to work, the doctor told me I need to get myself back out there. You know, I'm just in the house, you know, what that's going to do, which my husband would take me out in the daytime so I can get some sun and ride, you know, in the car and just look around. And Lord, do you start just counting your blessings. So he would do that for me and stuff. But outside that, I was just inhaling my own air and stuff. He told me I need to get back out there and stuff. So, you know, my husband would take me to the store. He was like, let's get a cart so you can ride. No, I'm going to walk. You know, I'm going to do this. You know. Shh, go get that cart. I'm going to tell you, I was struggling. Waggling, you're shuffling, let's leave. Now I want to finish the grocery shopping, you know. He'd go give me a cart, let me ride in the cart and stuff. But, so I'm still fatigued. I'm not as bad as I was, but I'm still fatigued. I'm grasping for words. Worse than I ever have. I can talk and lose it right in the middle of a sentence. That's why this might be all over the place. That's part of it. You know, they call it the fog. You know, you're foggy in the head and stuff. How long can this stuff go on? Well, no. They don't know. They don't have answers for all that. You know, they're still dealing with this. It's new. It's just day by day. You know, we don't know if this is going to be what is in me. I don't know. I don't know. So I'm going to wrap this up and say this. Was I vaccinated? No. I was not vaccinated. No. Was my husband vaccinated at the time? No. He is vaccinated now. And at this moment, I will be fully vaccinated on the 29th of October. So, do I regret not getting vaccinated? No. I hate that I got sick, but this probably would have happened anyway, you know. Would it have been as deep and as serious? We don't know. But they'll tell you it wouldn't. But how do we honestly know? I'm here to just inform you of what happened with me. And like I said, right now, fogginess of the mind. I'm still with the breathing, you know, shortness of breath. I still cannot walk too far. I definitely don't have no speed of walking. I used to walk, you know. I don't have the speed of walking. It's just gonna take time. And that's what they keep telling me, time. So right now, I'm off my blood pressure medicine. As long as I don't go too high on my blood pressure, you know, so I have to keep checking my blood pressure. So I'm off that right now. I hope and pray to stay off of it. Now, at the time all this happened, at the time of pre-COVID, I weighed 185. After COVID, after going, well, my smallest point of COVID was 170. I'm running about 172 right now. So I lost about 15 to 12 pounds right now. Yeah, that is that. But that is me and COVID and where I'm at now. Like I said, it doesn't sound, it was a whole lot going on with me and my body. But let me tell you about this. During all that time, dealing with running through the hospital and COVID and stuff, girl, menopause. I ain't have a hot flash the first. told my husband, I said, baby, he said, what? I said, I think I'm getting better. He said, oh, wait, why you say that? How you feeling? I said, I got a hot flash. She back. So I do believe COVID-free. I just got chest stuff going on. I just got residuals going on right now. Yeah, so that is my story of me and COVID. I'm gonna tell you out there, if you have any elderly family members, do check in on them. Check in on them, especially if you know that they've been sick or anything. Oh my gosh, I can't imagine. I can't imagine anyone not having an advocate with them, or not having someone there, you know, or being able not to talk for an elderly person. So I would like to thank you guys for being here today and listening to the story. But one thing, please pass the word. Let people know COVID is real. And if you didn't think so before this video, I hope it gave you some thought to whether you get vaccinated or don't get vaccinated. Be very, very cautious from here on out. It can happen from anywhere and come from any place. So keep your mask on, stay masked up. And I was vigilant in staying masked up, so very vigilant. So you just don't know. But stay masked up. Keep washing your hands. Don't forget the Lysol and the Clorox wipes. I'm telling you, you need it all. So thank you guys again. I'm so glad to be back, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.